Hey guys, this is Sarah, and I am reviewing for you the Birchbox shopping experience. I've been getting a Birchbox for a couple of months now, and so the subscription bag service has been really great. Using the points, that whole, the shopping experience on their website is really great. I am in Halifax, Nova Scotia, in Canada. So when stuff gets shipped, this is literally the second thing I've ordered from them. I ordered about a month in between these orders. They were two products by a company called Myfitnesspal. I'm a very big fan of the product, of the original moisturizer that I've tried so far, and when they had a tinted moisturizer available, I was very excited. And so what happened was I had a bunch of points, and they were having like a sale, and so or something. Yeah, I think there was a sale. Anyway, I had a bunch of points, and so I just decided that I would order it. The tinted moisturizer. It originally took a couple of weeks to come in, and it wound up being a very large box with a Revieiwng 3 palette in it, and not the moisturizer that I'd ordered or the Deborah Lippmann polish. So I was very confused, and I let it go for a day or two because I'm also a member of the Birch blogger community on Facebook. And originally when they had established that, they're like, so that you can have exclusive stuff and blah blah blah, we'll send you shit for reviews. And so I thought, well, maybe it's something to do with that. And it wasn't. It turned out that it had just been a complete mistake on their part. I didn't have the palette's presence explained, although I feel like there was a deal on at the time where, like, you would get so much off of the Revieiwng 3 palette. I know that I thought about buying it, and then I didn't. I definitely, it had been in my shopping cart, and then I'd removed it because I decided that, as cool as that would be, a product that I really loved was available and in a tinted moisturizer format, and I was really looking forward to getting to try that, and it was in a much more affordable format because the full size of it is $120. So that finally came in the other day, and yeah, that came in a quite large box. The Revieiwng 3 palette came in a box about this size, which is why I was really confused when it came in alone. Now this, what I've ordered, is from the same company, this Myfitnesspal, and I literally ordered one thing, which is the face and neck cleanser. If I had to say that I had one issue with Birchbox, it is their packing. So I've literally just seen me slice through, and usually everything that I get from the things that I get from them are just full of bubble wrap, and this time it's just extra cardboard, which is why this was thumping around. Oh, no, this is taped down to the cardboard. So this is secured to the cardboard, so it can't knock around. This bottle is friggin' huge. It's really hard to know when it's like 3 ounces. If this was a product that was available to me on Sephora, it would be cool because it would come with free samples. But yeah, the packaging, like, there's so much more packaging, which makes sense because it costs me $8 to ship anything to Canada, just space, which I wouldn't mind, except Birchbox has a separate Canadian site, so Birchbox.ca, and so the shipping is, of course, for Canada. It is specific shipping, and it specifically says 7 to 8 business days. The first time, like most things, come in about 10 to 12 days. And the tinted moisturizer sat waiting to be processed, because I was tracking the shipment, sat waiting to be processed at the shipping facility for a solid week before it even left Columbus. So, I mean, this pack is really great. I will say it looked like a white cloth in the photos. It also didn't look that big, so I'm okay with that. Plastic packaging again. So yeah, the Birchbox experience of shopping with them, I had the issue with the moisturizer. I got in touch, and I got a response within, I want to say, 72 hours. It wasn't fully 2 days, I don't think. Ooh, microfiber cloth. That is gorgeous. This looks amazing. This is a face and neck cleanser, and it's also supposed to be face and neck cleanser. And it's also supposed to remove makeup and everything. I'm sorry, this is 4 ounces, 4 fluid ounces, and they say that they believe that this will last 6 to 8 months with regular use. Yeah, excited about that. Nice pumpity pump, very pretty. Packaging is, I mean, it didn't come in a box, it came in this bag. That's actually something that's not specific to Birchbox. I love that it's a Canadian brand and Birchbox is selling it. That's lovely. So basically my feeling with the Birchbox experience was that I had a problem with my order. I got in touch with them, and yes, I got in touch with them, and I was like, it's great that I've been sent this palette. I don't know if I've been sent this palette for review or what. But the rest of my order hasn't arrived yet, and I'm really confused because it says that it's delivered on the date that this arrived, but none of the rest of it came. And the response was, you know, very sorry. The Deborah Lippmann polish wasn't available anymore, so I got a refund of my $20 there. They did send me the moisturizer. She was very apologetic. She gave me 100 Birchbox points, which I had a bunch of Birchbox points from buying from Birchbox and also from reviewing, and then I spent them on this, and so this went from being like a $48 cleanser to a I think it was 25 even with shipping by the time I'd spent my points on it. I think that's what I really like, is that Ipsy also has a point system, but after a year of being with them, my points were starting to expire, and I didn't have enough to do anything with. And that was really annoying because it was like, you're so close. Like literally, I think it was at like 925 or something like that with Ipsy points. And I didn't have enough to buy anything. You know, their point system is all about feeding more referrals in, getting more people to do it, and you know, you can tell that they're starting to lose customers because, like, I had an email through the other day saying, like, for the first time ever, we don't have any waiting list, you should come back, and it's like, you don't have a waiting list because the point system is bullshit. You probably have a lot of Canadians canceling because of what the exchange rate is like. It costs more for us to do the shipping. Like, that's not included. Birchbox doesn't charge me extra shipping because they put together a Canadian site. Like, it's a different fee for Canadians, but it's not like those it's, you know, they're just like, this is how much we figured out for shipping. We don't care where you are in Canada. You know, it's a little more expensive than my top box, but it's not insane. And yeah, so I'm really impressed with this. This is really heavy. Again, really heavy packaging. Like, the packaging from the company is really good. I mean, that was the weirdest way I've seen something packaged, but it's completely spotless. This cloth is meant to be used with this. That's specifically what this is for. And it comes in this handy case, which it's not awful. It's not great. That weird plasticky. Yeah. So yeah, so she corrected it really quickly. I did get in touch with them again because according to the shipping information, my box hadn't moved and it had just stayed in one place for 7 days. To the point where after 5 days I was like, this hasn't left the distribution center. Can you check on it, sort of a thing. And I was assured that it was winging its way to me and it was just taking a while to update, but it was definitely on the road. When the shipping information did update, it was because it had actually started moving. So in that sense, that's really annoying. Because it was like, well, it takes a few days for the scans to update, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no. No, honey, it hasn't left. So I don't know if they only ship out once a week or what, but, you know, like if it's gonna be 12 to 14 days shipping, I would rather have shipping estimates be higher, and then I'm like, yay, it's in, it's so soon, blah. You know, I like that. Sephora always says like 10 to 14 days for orders to Canada, and it's usually within a week. And their shipping is usually really good. Their shipper is really great. Um, Birchbox uses Landmark in the States, and then when it crosses the border, it hits Canpar. And I've never had a problem. I'm trying to think, is Canpar who I think they are? No, it is a shipping company. Yeah, it's Canpar. Yeah. And so it moves pretty fast. It comes in through New Brunswick, so that's pretty neat. Versus like Windsor, which means nothing if you're American. But yeah, so double checked on where my order was. That was just taking a long ass time. This spent, you know, the same amount of time. So now I know that it takes 12 days for something to be ordered from Birchbox and show up at my door. And it's one of those things where I wasn't in a rush for it. It wasn't something that I had gotten in mind for a special occasion. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a cleanser and a tinted moisturizer that doesn't even have SPF, so it's not like I was waiting for this weekend to bring it camping or something because, you know, I wanted an SPF that wasn't going to bother my skin or something like that. You know, it wasn't any of that. It's just, you know, honestly, once it hit Canada, it moved really quickly. The estimate was not incorrect because of the Canadian arm of the shipping. It wasn't even incorrect technically because of the American arm of the shipping, in the sense of it wasn't because it takes that long for it to move through the system. It takes that long for it to sit in a warehouse somewhere and not be processed. And that is my only issue, that if you know that your shipper does that kind of crap, then just say, you know, 10 to 14 days. Because that, like, if you tell me that you know, and I mean, obviously be reasonable, but, like, at the same time, it's annoying because I need to think, you know, when I am considering where am I going to get product X from. I have Birchbox points. Is it something that I'm thinking for me, or is it something that I'm thinking for my mom? If I want to make sure that it absolutely arrives 100%, I'm going to have to go with Sephora, because the problem with the Birchbox store is I waited ages for that moisturizer to come back into stock, and that's why I placed the order. And I was hemming and hawing over the Deborah Lippmann polish, but then I was like, but wait, I have all of these points. I can use these points, and then all of a sudden I'm getting, you know, friggin' $70 worth of product for like 20 bucks. Great. Super happy about that. But if it takes 12 days to find out that this wasn't shipped correctly, and like that's just one particular, you know, just one particular thing, and screw-ups happen, and and I would have sent them back the Revealed 3 palette if they'd asked for it, and that would have been fine. But when it takes 12 days for me to find out that you have messed up versus 8 days because it sat in a warehouse. And I'm not the first one that's complained about Birchbox shipping and how long it takes. So it's a little bit annoying now, where like they listen on so many other fronts. Why don't you just listen on this one point? And Landmark is normally really good. So, and especially with my Birchbox, that normally only has to sit there for like 2 days. I expect it to sit in the distribution center when the big batch comes into Canada, and that's fine. That makes sense. Like, they've got to sort through it, and customs, and it's all these things, and that's fine. And it probably looks really weird that there's all these little envelopes that come from this one company, and it's like, is it makeup or is it drugs? We should probably look into that. That makes sense. I totally do not have a problem with that. But when it sits, itchy foot, in a shipper's warehouse for a week, because it hasn't been on a truck. It has not gone on a truck. So, like, maybe if the explanation for that had not been, oh, it's totally on its way, and, like, I know that all you've done is you've assumed that this is how it is, you've looked on the tracking just like I have, you haven't been in contact with the shipper. And that's the only problem I have ever had with Birchbox customer service. And I even filled out the survey, and I'm like, I'm not mad at your end of the service. I'm mad about your shipper, and your shipper not fulfilling things in a timely fashion. Because if you're going to give me tracking, you don't have to give me tracking. But if you're going to give me tracking, don't lie to me and say, like, oh, yeah, no, it's totally, because it wasn't. It wasn't. Because if it had been, it would have arrived, 4 days previous, if it had already been working its way up to Canada. But it didn't. It took, it did take like 2 weeks, practically. Yeah, because it left on the 9th. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it left on the 9th, and it got here, okay, a week and a half. On the 9th, it got here about the 18th. It might have even been after that. It was annoying. Yeah. So that's my little rant about Birchbox shipping, but in general, everything is really well packaged. Customer service response on their end is great, and there's only so much the customer service people can do. Like, they're not responsible for who their shipper is, and I totally get that, but it should be something that they're aware of, and maybe have, I mean, there's nothing they can do once it's in the warehouse. That's fine, but maybe have a better response. Literally my only problem with the entire system. But yeah, also super sad I didn't get that Deborah Lippmann polish, because I do not have a Deborah Lippmann polish, and I have been really looking at them, and it was Rolling in the Deep, which was a really pretty color, and now I'll have to get that somewhere else, and 20 bucks was actually a really good price for it. Okay, I'm gonna stop making weird quacky noises and go away. Alright. Love you guys. Sorry it's so long, but you know what I mean? Like, sometimes things come out of your mouth, and I could shoot this again, and it would be, yeah, I'm gonna go try this cleanser. This looks so neat. Cannot wait. Yeah, are you foaming? I don't even know if you're foaming. Are you a foaming cleanser? You could be a foaming cleanser. It's a foaming cleanser. I don't know, because that's a French bit. Let me see. Are you a foaming cleanser? Face and neck cleanser. Doesn't say. Looks creamy. Very pretty bottle. And this actually came in a perfectly timely fashion, because I just ran out of my bullshit. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.